were going to talk about books, because it feels like I haven't talked about books in quite some time, and books are one of my favorite things in this world. So to make it easier on myself and not being too creative, I have decided to talk about my favorite books of 2015. I had a horrible reading year. I read about 14 books. I started 15 more above those 14 books, but I didn't finish them. I don't know why. I just didn't. Let's not talk about that more, because I am ashamed as it is. So this is basically just a list of books that I really enjoyed last year, and it's not in any particular order. I'm just gonna pull books from the pile and just talk about them. First book I'm gonna talk to you guys about is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn, and oh my god, it's so good. So this is basically about Nick and Amy Dunn, who meet each other, they fall in love, they get married, blah blah blah. But on their 5-year anniversary, Amy goes missing and all fingers are pointed to Nick. So now you have to go through this book and try to figure out if Nick did it, if he didn't do it, is he innocent, did he kill her, what has happened, and it's phenomenal. I really want to read more of Gillian Flynn's books because this is absolutely phenomenal, and I'm not one who usually read like mystery crime dramas, but this one was just phenomenal. It's so good. Next up we have Everyday by David Levithan, and this one broke my heart. It wasn't like to feel sad, but it was still like, why? So this is about a person who wakes up in a new body every day, and one day he meets this girl and he falls in love with her, but because of the fact that I'm not sure if it's a he or she, because I think that they say in the book that he doesn't have a gender, but I'm gonna say he because it just makes sense for some reason. I don't know, I see him as a he, otherwise I wouldn't say that, but anyways, he falls in love with this girl, and you know, it gets a little bit complicated because of the fact that he wakes up in a new body every day. I didn't have much expectations on this one because I haven't read any David Levithan books before, and I was like, yeah, why not just try it? I brought it with me on holiday together with Gone Girl when me and my dad went to Egypt in the beginning of last year, and I read it in like a day and a half, and it was so good. Oh. Next up, I thought we were going to talk about some comics, and that is Deadly Class Volume 1 and Volume 2 by, give me a second, I'm gonna find what they're called. What their names are, I mean, I'm sorry. Rick Remender, Wes Craig, and Lee Louridge. Do you say that way? I'm not sure, but oh my god, these are so good. So this is basically about a boy who's homeless, and he meets this mysterious girl who then brings him to this school where they teach teenagers how to become assassins. Do I need to say more? With every comic they change the color scheme, so you go from like blue to red to pink to green to yellow, and it just phenomenal. I'm not sure if Volume 3 has been released yet, but if it has and I can get my hands on it here in Sweden, I'm gonna read that ASAP. Or, well, I'm gonna buy it ASAP and then I'm gonna read it the second I get it, because that's always what I do. It's so good. Next up we have the last book that I read this year, and that is Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. Telling you a plot is so hard because I don't want to spoil anything, but basically it's about this girl who lives in Prague, and on one side she has this kind of normal life, she's an art student, she has friends and blah blah blah, and on the other side she has this chimera friends and family that she grew up with, and she's a teeth collector, which means she goes around the world and she just basically buys teeth for her guardian. I don't know what he is, but I can't tell anything about this book without spoiling it, so just read it. It's so good. Laini Taylor's writing style is phenomenal, so if you can, I really recommend you to read it in English, and I really want to read the rest of this trilogy, but I have so many goddamn books that I need to get to before that, so I have put a little bit of a book buying ban on myself, so to speak. I'm not allowed to buy any more books until I've read at least like 10 of the books that are on my shelf. The next book I want to talk about is Attack on Titan by this person. I'm not even gonna try it. I'm gonna be nice and I'm not gonna try it because I'm gonna butcher it. But this manga is absolutely phenomenal, and I haven't continued reading this because of the fact that I'm not gonna buy more books, but I do wanna continue this so badly because this was just... This is basically about a world where titans rule, and it's about the group of people that are trying to save this city or town or whatever from being attacked. They're actually just fighting the titans. That is probably the worst synopsis ever, but and it's beautiful and it's violent and it's gruesome. Oh my god, it's so gruesome. And like, I'm gonna see if I can fight the fucking titan. Look at that! Like, that's terrifying. When I started reading this, I showed that to my dad and he was like, what are you reading? It's so good and I really want to continue on with this, and I will definitely do that when I have, you know, gotten through a few more of my own books. Next up we have Civil War by Mark Millar and Steve McNiven, and this is absolutely beautiful. If you don't know what Civil War is about, I will leave a link in the description for the trailer for the movie because I don't have the energy to describe it because it's gonna take a while. But these comics, this is the bind-up of 1 to 7, these comics are absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. I can just scroll through this and just pick a page and just be like, what? How did anybody do this? How? I don't get it. And it's beautiful and it's well written and it's easy to get through, and it took me so long to go through it, not because it was hard to read or anything like that, but just because I took like several minutes for every page just to look at it, just to look at the drawings and look at the pictures and just take it all in and take the color schemes and how beautiful everything was, and the details. Man! The last book I wanted to talk to you guys about is End of Days by Susan E. This is the last book in the Penguin and the End of Days trilogy, I think it's called. And this was so good. I still think that this is my least favorite out of the 3 books, but it's still really, really good. Angel Fall is just... Basically, if you don't know, this whole trilogy is about the apocalypse and the angels have come down and they have struck, and Penguin and her sister and her mom have survived, and her sister get kidnapped by an angel, and Penguin then has to team up with another angel who has lost his wings to go to the angel headquarters to get his wings back and her sister back. It's a lot more than just that, and you might think that it's going to be like a paranormal YA romance series or trilogy, but nuh-uh. I was so pleasantly surprised by the first book because that was exactly what I thought it was going to be. That it was going to focus on the romance between Penguin and Rafi, which is the name of the angel, but she didn't, and I was so happily surprised by that because it feels like a lot of YA just focus on the romance no matter what the genre is, and even though that is a part of these books, it's still not the main focus on it, and that is really, really something that I enjoy. Susan E. just writes in a way that you just fly through it. It's so easy to read and it's so well written, and this world that she has created is just mind blowing. So that is my short and long list at the same time of the books that I really enjoyed from last year, and as you might have realized, it's not books that was published last year. I would love to know what your favorite books from last year were. Thank you so much for watching. Be kind to one another and yourself, and I will see you in my next video. May the force be with you. Bye!